All right, family, welcome. I hope all is well with you as it is with me here, just living the life and the experiences, be it good or bad. So, today's talk is saving yourself. You are the Christ, and as I've talked about many, many, many times about our energy and our life force and how it's going to be pulled every which way in this life, and our decisions we make in this life, and how making those certain decisions will affect that energy force and that life force. Um, it can either lift you and keep you on a high elevation, or if you allow certain things in to your life, it will bring you down. It will pull you into a hamster wheel. That's what I got from my picture, right? The hamster wheel. And I know this from experience, my own experience in life, in this life. Um, Sometimes we don't know what is toxic for us, and until it's too late. Until it's too late. Um, but what I've come to recognize and realize is that it's all about saving yourself. Um, Over here, a lot of times you may hear me say, there's no God, for me at least. For others, there may be, and it shows a lot of times. But I don't feel like there's anything higher above me. And I don't need a man savior or a woman savior as either, because that just has your mind in a place where you feel like you have to be dependent upon something else to give you the things that you need, that you actually already have but have not been able to recognize. You have everything you need. Um, but how do you connect to the things that you need to provide for yourself, to build yourself up, where you're not dependent on things, where you are being taken advantage of in this society by depending on those things, because they got you in a state where your emotions are leading you in the wrong way when emotions are meant to lead us in the right way direction. It's not anything that we have naturally about us. It's meant for good, but it can be manipulated into something horrible. And a lot of times that's what we see in life. We see the manipulation of a lot of things in this, well, I should say in this world, because I talk about two different worlds, and we definitely are in dealing with two different worlds. And those two worlds are just opposites of each other, or just the, and when basically the one world is pulling on the other because it is dependent on the other. This is why we are placed in a state where we are made to be dependent on certain things, because that world is dependent and it has pulled. Oh, I wish I got the message. It has pulled us into right where it wants us to be, in a weak, low state. So let's talk about toxicity, because we deal with that a lot, the toxic. And that's basically what, uh, unbeknownst to a lot of us at times, can pull us in, and we become addicted to the toxic behavior. We don't even notice or recognize that it is affecting how it affects you. How does that toxicity affect you? Hmm. Toxicity comes in many, many ways. Um, you have verbal, you have verbal, which, and you have mental, the mental state, where we're used to certain words, and people agree to live by these certain words, these lower level words that we judge others by, not knowing that, you know, you judge others by that, but it's not it's not quite a well, how do I say it? It's not something that everybody, because everybody's on different levels. So being that everybody's on different levels, certain things that this group of people might go by, other people may not have ever been um, accustomed to. Is what I'm trying to say. Accustomed to certain things may be foreign. Some certain things may not be what other people are raised around. because we live in a world full of, let me see, variety and differences, variety and differences, a wide range of a whole lot of experience, different experiences in life. No one is no one is the same. Each individual is different. Even though some people say you may look like someone, but everybody has their different identity. You can look like have so many people that look like you around, but you are different. It even gets down to your own children. Your own children are different from you. They don't think like you. They don't necessarily, they're not going to always think like you. Their world is different than your world. Um, it's just a unique situation. We're just in a whole pool. I just describe it as a pool full of variety. Okay. And so, but toxicity is, it stays, it remains the same, but not everybody is accustomed to a certain way of being. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, I'm saying, because not everybody has been around certain things that are toxic to know or really understand that. It could be a bad thing too, because that person can end up going into that toxicity and getting stuck in it and becoming addicted to it and not even know that it's affecting them and how it's affecting them. And that's a very serious thing. So, unfortunately, some of the things that we may love to do may not be good for us. You may love a job. You may love a job. Um, you may love doing a job, a career. Um, but I tell you, if it's toxic for you, it's going to bring your whole world down. It can be a challenge for you, but you have to think, is this worth the headache and the heartache? A lot of times, if you find yourself complaining and being unhappy even after you've gone home from the job, then chances are it may not be the right place for you. And that's for your own sake. That's for your own sake because your own peace of mind, your own energy, and sometimes we may not know that it may be driving us to certain things, and we may not even know that. Like some of the YouTube, it's a lot of toxicity on social media. Period. Let's just say that it's a lot of toxicity. Like for example, you may be used to someone that is, you know, very highly judgmental. And they always not judgmental in a positive way of judging, but they resort to a very negative way of judging. And they come forth to people in a very negative way, bringing down the energy, bringing down people, and causing a lot of people to take in that. So a lot of people take in that, and it causes things within each person differently, because everybody's different. You have a whole pool full of people, and you don't know their experiences, you don't know anything about them, but when you basically throw out toxicity, it hits each one of them in a variety of different ways, causing a variety of different things. So, so let me get this straight. How to save yourself? basically what I'm trying to say is you can save yourself. Of course, I'm working on saving myself from a lot of things. Is number one thing is having your peace of mind. Having your peace of mind, knowing that you're the powerful one, knowing that you have power. You have power and you have the hope, you know, real hope. No one can give you hope. When we open our eyes and we're in the morning and we're breathing, that's hope. You know, that's life. That's us breathing, living, and moving forward. You know, and continuing on. But when you allow people in that break down that hope or give you false hope, you're not helping yourself. You're allowing something outside of you to control and manipulate what should be natural for you. Your choices, your decisions, your movement. And nothing should be that powerful over you when you're the all powerful one in all reality. In all reality. You're the all powerful one. You are the Christ. And there's why there's always an antichrist. Those that are against your existence. So this is why toxicity exists to break you down. Negativity expresses itself forward. The positivity takes the back seat to that when we should be accentuating the positive, accentuating the positive. We should be pushing it forward and upward. That's the light within you, letting that light shine, within you. Sometimes we get addicted to things and we think it's good for us, and we have to question what is the source behind me becoming addicted to this or having these issues. I'm doing that currently in my life. It's a hard, difficult thing to do, especially when you're in a relationship. You're in those relationships and you just it's hard. I don't have to explain that. You all know that it's difficult, but it's breaking you. Things are breaking you. Things are, and you many times you examine and you say, "Is it me? Is it me? Is Do I need to change this? Do I need to do this?" You know, maybe that's what it is. But the problem is still there. Even if you change things, you rearrange things, it still shows its ugly little head. You know what I'm saying? So you have to save yourself. You have to do the you have to think about you. You have to think about you. Hold on. I'm back, and I apologize for that. I have a lot of things I'm doing. So basically, sometimes you have to, um, you can tell by your energy. If your energy is low, you're like down on yourself, or you don't want to, you're not happy, and you're not making yourself happy. That could be indicators that there is something in the midst. There is something missing, or you're not on your right path, or there's something in the midst, as I said, that is not feeding your needs. And I don't mean someone else's action necessarily, um, or what I mean is someone else's actions towards you or for you necessarily. Because in my relationship, I try to not be dependent upon someone's actions because I want a natural, healthy relationship. I don't want them to be dependent on my actions, but they call it love language. Um, but what I'm learning is perhaps love language is important after all. Maybe you need your love language, you know. Um, but it's I think when it's sum it all up, it's all about challenges. Are you up for that challenge? If that challenge is too much for you, then of course it may not be what you need in your life, you know. But when you're around a lot of negativity and stuff like that, that will pull down your life force. That will uh, cause you to come down instead of rise up. And you can't control the source where that comes from, but you can control you. That's why you're all powerful. You have to save yourself from that environment, from that toxicity. You are your own savior in that manner. Only you can do that. People can advise you, which in my experiences, that is a funny thing. I don't like too much when people tell me about their relationships, but I like to help people, right? And I guess I'm getting tired. I just at a point where um, because sometimes people need space. They'll talk a talk about their spouse or about their boyfriend or whatever, and they'll never leave out of that situation. They'll never get out of that situation. And what I've learned about myself is not to talk that talk, after dealing with people who talk that talk many times and don't get out of those relationships, or they just eventually they do get out of those relationships, and it's a good thing. It's kudos to you. It's more power to you because you were able to recognize the toxicity and prepare yourself and just free yourself from that. And that's a great thing, you know. Um, huh. Hmm. So I'm just so this is my favorite drink. I'm so sorry, excuse me. Mm. Something about the pure water and the carbon in it that it just relaxes me. And I guess it's similar to beer, similar to alcohol, but I tell you what, I take this Pierre water any day over alcohol. It's just and soda. I take it over soda any day too. It just it relaxes me. It makes me feel real good. Hi, how are you, Addie? I hope all is well with you. Hi. So basically, in relationships and in places we find ourselves going into like groups or be, anything dealing with relationships, we may need to save ourselves from. It's kind of like the integration. Oh, Addie, you said we cannot save ourselves. Yeah. Oh, it's a challenge, but you can. It's a challenge, but you can. If you would like to come up, I'll put the link. Let me see if I can get my link up here. I don't know if you were able to click on the link or whatever. And this is just for anybody that wants to come up and get into this discussion. Okay. But I'm not saying everybody can save themselves, but I'm saying that I know, I know you can, but you may feel like you can't. But I know it's possible. Even though I haven't made it to saving myself yet. Obviously. Obviously. In many matters, in all the matters, even in this integration matter, I haven't saved myself because I'm still here with you. But if I had a spaceship and the capability, I would be Audi 5,000. I would be out a long time ago. But because in the physical, I'm still here. But I feel like I've saved myself mentally. I feel like I've saved myself emotionally. Okay, Addie, you're fine. You're fine. But you can save yourself. You can save yourself from toxicity. I battled, battle. There's so much we always battling with. I can't just tell you one thing I battled with. We all battle with a lot of things. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. She must have. I'm back. Sorry about that. You're fine. You can save yourself. Don't give up hope. What ways that let's think about some ways that we save ourselves from a job, relationships that are, with friends. Sometimes we just have to let go. But sometimes I'm gonna tell you a story. Someone I know that would tell me about their relationship with a significant other and how he went outside that relationship and um it was hard to believe. But so She had to put things in motion. It was a hard thing to do, but you have to put things forward, plan, set goals. It wasn't an immediate thing because it's a process. It's always a process. Make sure you have skills. Make sure you have a backup plan, a backup job. If it's leaving a job that is not conducive for your well-being, to your well-being, because we all have talents, we all have gifts, we all have abilities. We have to look into our abilities. We need to look at the positive. You see, we've been put the positive on the back, and we decided to roll with the negative places, to spaces, and dwell there, like on the plantation, working for a beast full of wickedness and evil that spread all over the land. So instead of us finding ourselves, we find ourselves lifting up the negative, thinking that the negative is our hopeful place, and it's not. It's death. It's death. So we end up in a place that we think in our minds it is benefiting us in some kind of way. When we're the ones that are supposed to be benefiting ourselves somehow. We're the ones. See, kind of like dropping that zero and going for the hero. The thing that is going to uplift you is the thing that fulfills you in your life. The job is not fulfilling you in your life, then you may have to run away from that. You may have to run away from that. Hold on a. But like I said, you want to have something else there for you, um, that you can survive off of, make a living for yourself. You got to sit down. You got to use this. This is a powerful tool. It's the mind. You got to know self. When you know yourself and what excites you, what you love doing, what you can spend hours on hours and not see time pass. Time doesn't exist in that moment that you're doing that thing you love to do. That's real love. Then comes your peace of mind. But that's how you're going to save yourself. That's how you're going to save yourself. Changing, seeing the world differently. Look at it in all aspects. Look at your situation in different aspects. Then look at different ways you can get yourself out of the situation. Positively, not negatively. Because we're living in that world that gravitates us into that negativity. We're attracted to it. So we're going to find the worstest way, which may be more money, but is more money good? Is that what you really need? Or do you need something that's going to fulfill you and you create your creativity, your abilities, make you lift you up, because you're doing it with your own hands. You've created it, you built it, rather than being under someone else who doesn't give a care about you. But you care about you. So you have to move, save yourself basically. Save yourself. And that's just from a job aspect. That's just from a career aspect. You may have to just change over and do your own thing. Um, the energy is too much. you know, and free yourself. No one should be miserable. No one should be, in a state of unhappiness. Your happiness comes from within you. If you're doing all the things for you, if you're neglecting yourself, then that means that you're in something that is something around you, or something you're in a situation that it's not good for you at all. It's not good for you at all. So that's what that is. So you can save yourself. You have options whereby your ancestors didn't have options. They were forced, everything forced all the way. We were forced in the 1960s. Now things are a little different. We're left up to our own what they call it, demise, our own demise. And how is that? Because the damage has already been done. We love gravitating to the negative. They know this. So it's hard for us to reach the positive. People want to talk negative all the time. You can look on the news. I don't like to watch the news because all it gives us is negative, negative, negative. Everything's happening. So it tells me where I'm at. So I know the world I'm in. But how can I get myself out of that? Mentally is where it starts. Emotionally, maturing myself, emotionally building myself, understanding those emotions, sitting in those emotions, asking questions, dealing with those emotions, facing those emotions, asking how can this build me and make me stronger? You know, allowing it to build you and make you stronger. Understanding toxicity and what it's all about. It's all about breaking down your hope. It's all about tearing you down, but it's already down. The minute you hear toxicity, it's over for it. It's dead. It doesn't even exist. It shouldn't exist in your world, but it shouldn't exist because it's just here. It's minute. It's small. It doesn't exist. It's like a little ant crying around, and you accidentally step on him. That's what it is. So you can save yourself from all that. You can save yourself because you are the Christ, and everything else is anti. Everything else is gonna be anti. That toxicity is always gonna be anti you, and you have to figure out a way to circumvent it or to work around it and to build yourself up and be the best you can be. That's saving yourself. And you can do it. And I know you can do it. You can save yourself, you know, because you are the Christ. So with that said, true love, real peace, the higher self within, the soul. Until next time, peace.